that. You see.
Right.
But if you told them that, hey, you can go to the nearest community hall and do a 40-minute program, I think the possibility is a lot higher.
Yeah.
So, once we proved that the AED installations were okay, we put up a second submission, said, okay, now I'm going to blanket the whole country. And government said, okay, I'm still not convinced that this is effective, so I'm going to give you half of what you asked. So you have 10,000 blocks, but we'll give you 5,000 AEDs.
Yeah.
And you can put in every other block. So we started installing last year at a rate of about 600 AEDs every 4 months or every 3 months.
Okay.
So we are still installing right now. So by early next year, the entire country's public residential area, which covers about 3.5 million, will have people living with an AED within 4 meters of their house.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Now is that so? All these AEDs that you're purchasing, who's that going through?
Who is that going through?
Which manufacturer? Is it a variety also?
Oh, no. Okay, so usually when we do these as a tender, right?
Yeah.
The traditional problem that we face, and after starting an AED registry, what we realized was this: when you leave it to people to do this, if your hotel wants you buy an AED or whatever, and there is no strict licensing of maintenance, what you will see is that batteries and pads will expire. And people who started the project typically will not be in the same job, more than 5 years. So what happens is that when someone buys an AED for the organization, the next guy comes in and says, I don't know what to do with this.
Right.
Then pads and batteries expire. So we did a massive exercise to tender out the AEDs, but we didn't buy any. We leased them all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the proposal that I had was this: the AED is a service that I want, but I'm not interested in physically buying an AED as a piece of logistic.
Right.
So to me, right, it's like leasing a photocopying machine.
Yeah.
I just want photocopying, but I don't want to buy a photocopying machine.
Right. Right.
So essentially, I'm only in the business of wanting to lease the service of defibrillation by the member of the public. But I don't want to buy a defibrillator, because buying a defibrillator comes with a lot of responsibility of having to ensure that someone goes down to maintain and change the stuff.
Right.
So when you buy it, 2 years later you have to start writing a submission to change pads and batteries, which is something that nobody wants to do.
Right.
So we put up this proposal to say that, hey, this is no different from leasing, a zapping machine,
Right.
So I will pay a leasing fee every year, and then the guy will come in to make sure that his, machine works, you see.
Right.
So he will check it, and then if everything is in order, you also, put in all your GPS locations, give me expiry dates, next maintenance date, and then you get paid for work.
Yeah. So who's doing that?
Currently it's Zoll.
Okay.
Yeah. So Zoll won the contract for the current leasing program that we have.
Okay.
So I mean for us we are only stating the standards that we want them to meet. So anybody can meet them.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I don't have to deal with disposal. If you give me a second-hand device, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If it works, it works.
Right.
I don't need to have the newest photocopying machine, but I just need to have a photocopying machine that photocopies. That's it. You see. So it solved a huge problem for us. That most of the machines now are with a leasing model. And we are actually trying very hard to talk to manufacturers. Can you offer leasing programs to smaller agencies? Like if I'm a church and I want to lease one AED, the guy says, it's kind of hard for me to lease one device to you see, because there is no supply of used AEDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So by starting a program like this where there is always a warehouse and a supply of such things, you know, we're trying also to convince the manufacturers that, you know, given that now there is an active leasing program, could you consider starting something to get, you know,
allowing other people to come in?
That's right. So you needed to create a critical mass for this to start.
Yeah. That's a great idea. That's great.
Yeah. Nobody needs to buy an AED. You know?
Right. No, very good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, gosh, we covered a lot of ground in an hour and a half.
Yeah. So I mean, these are some of the things that you know we've done, and so we looked at this whole thing as an ecosystem. You know, the 40-minute hands-only program, the My Responder mobile app. You know, to bring people there to do CPR. We did now we are doing up the public access defibrillation program so that with the app you can find the AEDs, go to the guy, telephone CPR helps to ensure that people are doing CPR
until you get there.
Until you get there, you see. Yeah. So it all kind of pivots around this whole cardiac arrest survival concept that has allowed us to build so many different things, to develop the system.
That's an amazing story. And so what's on the horizon? Obviously getting staffed up. Getting AEDs, all the AEDs deployed. You've got a community health MIHCP program.
Currently, I think we are still doing catch up. Like, I still don't have enough ambulances, and I'm going to get those ambulances, I believe. And once we finally hit the correct ratio, we will try and maintain. So as population grows, at least there's a proper sustained growth that would enable us to do the work and be resourced clearly for it. Some of the other things that we are doing with cardiac arrest include this. I don't know if you were at the talk, but we actually work on getting bystanders trained to do CPR using a device that you could put on the patient's chest, and you could actually do CPR.
Wow!
And it tells you whether you're doing it fast enough. So I'm clearly not doing it right.
Yeah.
So you gotta try and get target. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. There you go.
Wow.
Okay, a little bit too deep. So we've already had submissions of
credit card size for the recording. This is a credit card size.
So it's RFID. So all the data of depth and rate is being recorded. We now have 8 cases at least of submitted data of actual cardiac arrest
from this card. Wow.
By bystanders or by community first responders.
Wow.
So nobody has data like that.
Yeah.
So
now, do your providers also use this?
No, this is just for bystanders.
Because obviously they've got their own.
So the X series actually have accelerometers. So we have the professional one.
Right.
We have the community AEDs, which also have accelerometers and data collection. So now, we are pushing this forward to the point that we are trying to give this to people in community response.
Who did this for you?
So this was actually branded with Ladell.
Okay.
Yeah. So we branded with them, and it's branded with the DARE program, which is the community training, and it's a research study at the moment. So we are giving out 50,000 cards, and with the reminder, the number to call, hands-only CPR, defibrillation, and we pair it with the app.
Wow.
So so it's a really long story, but now you can see how everything kind of ties
together.
Yeah. So it fits together as a system. You know? It's not just single disparate pieces. We built these foundations with a very clear goal in mind.
Right.
So some of this is helping us drive the innovation and understanding of what's going on when a community first responder, and many of them have never actually done any actual response in cardiac arrest in their life. You see? And it's the first time they go on scene, and where
can you get?
It's still a research prototype.
Okay.
Yeah. Currently, these are not rechargeable, but the new ones we're trying to see whether we can do wireless charging.
Okay.
So you can do this for about 30 minutes worth, and I think the new generation we're trying to see whether you could put it on one of those new iPhone chargers or whatever and just recharge it.
Yeah.
And when you touch the RFID, it downloads all the data.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, we do have a whole bunch of projects